Welcome back to the channel. So, still a little under weather, getting over it. But this video got recommended to me, and he's one of those creators that retrospectively remembers games wrong on purpose, just to make videos like this for his fan base to try to get them to believe that all game developers now are just kind of just like we don't care about gaming no more. And I'm like, come on now, bro, you're doing it on purpose. And you know they're doing it on purpose, or if they're doing it on accident, they spread misinformation on accident. It's because they don't want to actually go investigate anything. They just want to spread misinformation because they feel away, and it's so sad, bro.
They keep
Like,
trying to trick us into believing something is popular, so then we go out and buy it. I'm getting so sick and tired of watching both game developers and games media gaslighting the audience and themselves rather than just calling things out for what they are. You need to throw up a signal flare when there's an issue, but they want to keep handing out consolation prizes, and then they wonder why studios close down.
when he first said that, because I only heard a little bit of this, and then I was like, yeah, bro, I'm not watching this shit. But I did want to react to just the part that I did hear. I instantly thought Larian Studios and Baldur's Gate 3 when he said that. But this is about Avowed. This is about Avowed. But when he said that, I'm like, they did that exact thing with Larian Studios last year. Not last year, the year before that. Like, damn. You can say that about a lot of fucking studios, can't you?
How do you not recognize that you are exacerbating this issue? Avowed is one of the biggest copes I have ever seen.
I don't know what the fuck that
Developers
means.
and journalists self-congratulating when the numbers and the player sentiment are telling a completely different story. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm struggling to tell the difference between article and advertisement this week. It's like they want to wish success into existence. That doesn't work. I'm getting Dragon Age the Veilguard deja vu all over again. Look, I don't think that Avowed is an objectively bad game. I've played it. We're going to end up talking about that, but it's just a fine game. It's an okay game, but okay isn't acceptable from a studio as storied, experienced, or as prestigious as Obsidian.
Pause. And right there, I'm like, so you're gonna act like Obsidian has been this top tier AAA development studio for so long, and they've fallen from grace all of a sudden. That right there, I was like, okay, so you're definitely spreading misinformation. For what reason? Because Avowed has never been at the top of the RPG genre. They've never been at the top of the RPG genre. They make good games. They've always made good games. And Obsidian just made another good fucking game, which is Avowed. But for some reason, he wants you, the viewer, to think that Obsidian used to be so fucking great, and now they've fallen from grace when they've been the most consistent game development studio with some of the most creative minds behind gaming for a long fucking time, and they're still doing that with Avowed. But what they wanted from Avowed and what Obsidian created are two different things. And in their mind, oh, Obsidian has fell from grace, when Obsidian's consistently been Obsidian this whole fucking time. They're still making Obsidian level fucking games. And they're getting better. And it's crazy because the last new IP they made was The Outer Worlds. Do you know The Outer Worlds peaked on Steam at like 20,000? 20,000 players at one time. Not 500,000. Not 100,000. They've 20,000. Their last IP, 20,000. You know, Avowed is in Game Pass. They're owned by Xbox now. It's in Game Pass day one, and Avowed still peaked at 18,000 people when their last new IP peaked at 20, and they had, come on now, bro. Obsidian has consistently been Obsidian this whole time. They're still creating good games. But he would want you to believe Obsidian used to be a top tier AAA developer, and now they fall from grace. And I'm like, why do y'all make content like this, bro? They really want to spread hate and misinformation so bad that they make videos like this, like you talking like Obsidian was Bethesda. You talking like Obsidian was Bio, like if you talk about Dragon Age the Veilguard and how BioWare fell from grace, understandable. BioWare used to be on top, and they fell off. Yes. Yes, that's the thing. But Obsidian has never been on top, bro. And he's talking like, oh, Obsidian used to be doing so much better. No, they haven't. because you can go look at their other games. You might have remembered them fondly. I have Fallout New Vegas right there. I have the Outer Worlds. Obsidian's created so many great games. I have KOTOR 2. But they've always created either good sequels to other people's games because they're really good at making other people's fucking games. And when they make their own games, they're still consistently really fucking good. But they've never been amazing. They've never got a 95 game on Metacritic. They've never been that studio. But he will want you to believe he's so angry because Obsidian is not the Obsidian it used to be. When Obsidian has never been who you thought they were. And I'm like, who the fuck do you think make these games, bro? It is so crazy. When I heard this, I'm like, okay, so you're definitely one of those niggas, bro. You're just talking out your ass. And it's so sad. It's always so sad when I get recommended these videos because I like gaming. I like talking about gaming. But I like facts, bro. I like the facts about gaming. Not just niggas saying shit because they got a microphone in their hand. And I'm like, fuck, bro. It's always misinformation. But when nobody talked that shit when Larian Studios and Baldur's Gate 3 launched a broken-ass game. No, they touted that motherfucker around like it was a masterpiece. They gave it masterpiece badges on Metacritic, OpenCritic, Game Awards. They had them announcing the Game of the Year this year. But the game was broken, bro. They didn't get that same respect to CD Projekt. No, CD Projekt fell from grace. They launched a broken fucking game. They fell from fucking grace. BioWare, they launched a game. Nobody liked it. They fell from grace. But, Larian Studios, yeah, they launched a broken game. But it's still the best game to ever come out. Come on now, bro. The double standards in the gaming industry, and from niggas like this that think they're at least a voice in gaming. Come on now, bro. It's so sad to see. What did he say?
We should expect more from them. They should expect more from themselves. But the funny thing is that they don't. The
How do you know that?
Doesn't want you to expect more. These studios don't want you to expect more. And this studio specifically doesn't expect more from themselves.
How do you know that? You work there?
This is a growing issue in the games industry. It's poisoning the culture of some of these studios because they're not just...
They're not just what?
Just accepting mediocrity. They're aiming for it. Not my words, theirs. But before we get into that, a word...
Of course you got a word from your fucking sponsor. I'm not watching the rest of this. But he's like, they're aiming for mediocrity. I don't think people know what a mediocre game is. Like, I don't know what metric every gamer scales a game off. But you know there's scales. Like, top tier games. Like, Elden Ring peak game. In every other game is gonna scale under that in some way. But every game isn't on the same scale. Because budget and studio time, all that shit factors in. When people talk about Baldur's Gate 3, they're like, oh, but Larian Studios did Baldur's Gate 3. That motherfucker still launched broken. For one, it still launched broken. We're not going to forgive them for that. If y'all going to give them all the accolades for this and that and this, it launched broken. Badly broken. They've been fixing that motherfucker for months. We can't just give them a pass for that. But if you're going to put Baldur's Gate at peak RPG, it's crazy how long they got to develop this game. They were getting paid to make this game for 3 years in early access. How many other gaming studios had that? None. So when they talk about these games, isolated cases exist, and Baldur's Gate was one of those. You can't expect every gaming studio to get an IP like Baldur's Gate, which BioWare pumped that bitch up and left it. And then they get to develop this game. Then they get to sell this game on the market for 3 years while still developing that game, and then launch that game and it succeed. No other game is going to get that type of success. They can still have great games. Warhorse just made an amazing one. They just made an amazing one. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. They worked hard on that shit. It's a good fucking game. It's still not reaching Baldur's Gate 3 levels of success because it wasn't an IP that fucking big. But Warhorse still just made an amazing fucking game. But every metric isn't the same. You can't scale every studio on the same, because Warhorse is definitely not as big and not as prominent as fucking Larian. It took Larian a long time to get a Baldur's Gate 3 success like that. So stop trying to put Obsidian on the same scale as him, because Obsidian has never been that high to begin with. But they've always produced great games, and they're still producing those. But I don't know, bro. I think that's just me. I'm a gamer, bro. I play games. I enjoy games. I don't just sit here talk about like, the good old days. Cause come on now, bro. They still creating good games. They're still creative as fuck. There's not many studios out here creating games like Obsidian is. So make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.